Can we talk about the Children of the Blessed a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
So they're called the Children of the Blessed, and they're basically these women that are obsessed with fairies.
Yeah.
I just got this image in my head of them knocking on your door and just being like, "Hey, do you have time? We want to talk to you about the fairies, man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't understand. These fairies are fine."
Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior, Fairy Dick?
Fairy Dick.
I would invite those missionaries into my house.
You think so? You'd just be like, "Girl, tell me about it." Hey guys, so this is part 2 of A Court of Thorns and Roses. So if you haven't listened to part 1, pause this real quick and go check that out.
You're going to be hella lost if you start here.
You're going to be like, wait a minute, how did they regenerate magic again?
The Suriel said, what?
You don't know about that, do you? Go listen to the other episode. It's going to get crazy.
It is going to get crazy.
Feyre goes back to the spring court.
Yes.
And it looks like a hot mess. I mean, it's been ransacked.
She is going through this completely demolished manor. And she's like, where the fuck is everybody? She doesn't know where anybody went.
Can you imagine, though? They just had sex. And then she goes back and he's fucking gone.
He's just gone.
He's literally just disappeared. Can you imagine if he was like the ultimate fuckboy? He just ghosted her.
This is just a bet that he had with Lucian. So...
That would suck. But that's not what happens because she runs into Alice.
Yeah, like Alice is behind like a fucking door. She's her like maid that was assigned to her when she lived there. And she explains who Amarantha is.
Yeah, we finally get the real story of what the hell was going on. So Alice tells Feyre, like, look, this bitch Amarantha, she's scary. Like, she's evil. Like, she literally likes to torture for sport. She loves having all the high lords at her beck and call. Somehow she did some sort of ritual.
She tricked the high lords into coming to like this party. She said it was for peace, and then she trapped them all there except for Tamlin. I think that she really wants into Tamlin's nether regions.
Amarantha has a thing for Tamlin, and when Amarantha got all the high lords of all the courts together and tricked them and stole their power, she actually let Tamlin go, but she put a curse on him because he didn't want to be with her. And so he was like, oh, you think you can find someone better? Bet. All right, I'm gonna put a curse on you. No one's gonna be able to see your beautiful face, and you have to get someone to fall in love with you. But not just someone. It was very specific.
Yeah, it was extremely specific. So it had to be a human that murdered one of his own court members with hate in their heart. So it wasn't just like, hey, you can go kidnap like any human girl and get her to fall in love with you, because like honestly that would have been pretty easy.
Not hard.
Especially with the Children of the Blessed yeeting themselves through the wall.
What did you say? They're yeeting themselves?
Yeah, they're yeeting themselves over the wall.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, yeeting is forcefully like throwing. I think as millennials, we would probably use the term chucking.
Girl, I never used the word chucking in my life.
If a woman is like, what do you use? What word do you use? I
say throwing themselves at him. I don't say yeeting. I thought that was like a rap term, like skeet, 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 skeet. Like that's what I thought you were saying.
No, yeeting means like throwing. It's like a Gen Z term. I have preteens.
Today's episode is brought to you by the word yeet. How do you spell it?
Y-E-E-T.
That is literally not a fucking word, Courtney. You're making this up.
Yeet. Verb. To discard an item at high velocity, but limited accuracy.
Oh my God. That is so accurate.
Yeet is an exclamation of excitement, approval, surprise, or all-around energy, often used when doing a dance move or throwing something.
Wait, is this Urban Dictionary or is this a legitimate dictionary?
This is dictionary.com.
Oh my God. All right. Well, the Children of the Blessed are these women that yeet themselves over the wall, which is with a lot of passion, but no accuracy. So they're just falling over on random.
It's like a dog hitting an electric fence.
Oh my God, what a visual. All right. Well, that's going on. So Amarantha put that curse on Tamlin, and I guess in her head, it was just never going to happen.
And he only had 50 years to do it. And remember, Feyre got there at like 49 and a half years. So like down to the wire. The consequence for not fulfilling her stipulations with finding a human girl to love him was that he now had to go be part of her court under the mountain.
Yeah. So if he couldn't break the spell, he was going to become her full-time 24/7 bitch.
Yes. I'm trying to wrap my head around this because Talon called Rhys Amarantha's whore.
Mm.
And Rhys is Amarantha's whore. And now she's bringing Tamlin in. Like, is this like a reverse harem type of thing? Or
listen, Amarantha's living her best life. All right. That bitch is living her best life.
She's living my best life right now. Okay. Like, it's.
But listen, she's not there. We're not there yet, right? Because we're still like rewind to poor Feyre standing in that castle talking to Alice, realizing that she fucked up because all she had to do was tell Tamlin she loved him for the spell to break, and she couldn't bring herself to do it. And now, so she feels like the whole thing is her fault. So she tells Alice, like, I need to go help him. And Alice is like, no, girl, you don't, because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, she's like, there won't be no tomorrow, not if you don't put your seatbelt belt on. You're gonna die. I watch too much TikTok.
I literally watch TikTok 20 hours a day, and most of your references go over my head. We are on different sides of TikTok.
I am on, except for lesbian TikTok. We are both on that.
Well, we're definitely both on lesbian TikTok.
Have you seen Hannah Bread Talk?
No.
Okay, so there's this lesbian that makes bread, but she makes direct eye contact with the camera as she's kneading the dough.
Oh my God.
And when she puts her dough in the proofing baskets, she gives them each a little tap.
Oh, daddy.
She's a slightly masculine lesbian, but like still a masc lesbian playing with carbs. Like,
That's hilarious. Well, it's like she's teasing you, like, this bread is going to be ready in 45 minutes. And you're like, stop, I'm married.
Hannah, no. So Alice is like, no, girl, you cannot go there. You need to get the fuck back to the human world, okay? Like,
yeah, go.
There's nothing you can do. It's over. Like, it's over. All right, Feyre? We gave it a good shot. The good old college try. It didn't work. Just go home. Alice is like, I'm leaving. I'm dipping.
I don't really know how Alice made it through the whole, I don't know, the castle being ransacked and everyone getting man napped. We don't know how Alice made it through, but that bitch is a survivor. I would listen to Alice. Okay.
Alice is a bad bitch. Eventually, Feyre convinces her. She's like, I need to go. And Alice is like, okay, fine. I'll tell you how to get there. And she tells Feyre how to get to under the mountain.
Because that's where Amarantha's little kingdom is under a mountain.
But when Feyre gets there, like, it's kind of like a mole people tunnels. Like, it's not like a fancy underground city.
So Feyre goes into the mountain looking for Amarantha's lair, and she pretty quickly, kind of like Fire Night, gets nabbed.
The creature that takes her is called the Adder. I think of it as like a weird. Have you seen the movie Anastasia?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember the bat? Mm-hmm. So I think of it as just a giant one of those, but like an ugly one that got like ran over by the lawnmower and mangled, but is still alive. So the Adder like drags her into this room. It's the main cavern, and it's set up kind of like an amphitheater, and throws her in front of Amarantha. And who the fuck is sitting next to Amarantha?
Who is this masked man sitting next to Amarantha?
Tamlin.
Oh, just Tamlin.
Does not look good for a Tam right now,
It does not. You know what? I'm a little upset right now. I'm a little upset because he doesn't even look at her. He pretends he doesn't see her.
Just blinders, focused, straight ahead. He pays no attention. And Feyre's like,
you know what vibes? No, you know what vibes he's giving me? He's giving me the...
Is Feyre the other woman now?
Yes! Like,
oh my God.
Amarantha's the wife, and Tamlin's just like, I don't see, no, honey, I don't know what you're talking about. I am not.
Nope.
Not today. So Feyre gets pulled in front of Amarantha and Tamlin sitting next to her. So like you said, it's kind of set up a little bit like an amphitheater, and all around Feyre there are all these fairies, and she finds out that these are actually all the courts, right? Like all the fairies from the courts.
Yeah. And like not a lot of them look excited to be there. There's some that are excited to be there, but like most of them just look like prisoners that aren't chained up. Like they're like hostages,
Do you mean kind of like people like the mandatory fun outings when you at work?
Yeah, that's exactly. They're all at mandatory fun outings, and Amarantha's like, "We're all having fun, right?" And they're like, "Uh-huh,
They're like, yes,
all having fun."
please don't fire me. Tamlin is not looking at her, and Feyre kind of knows. Okay, he's not looking at me. Like he still loves me, right? Like she's like, he loves me. He loves me.
Like what we have is real, right?
Literally, despite all evidence to the contrary. I mean, she holds on to hope. She figures, hey, he's probably pretending I don't exist because if he gives me attention, then that Amarantha lady is gonna kill me right away.
Yeah, and Amarantha is not dumb.
Yeah.
She can understand that this is a human girl that Rhysand told Amarantha about, because Rhysand did tell Amarantha that there was a human girl.
Spoiler, I never saw that coming.
I did not. I thought Beautiful Stranger was just going to tease Tamlin and then not do it. I did not think he would actually do it.
I thought he was going to come back the next day and be like, what else can I make Tamlin do for this secret? But nope, he just spilled the beans right away.
He did. And then Amarantha's like, well, who the fuck have I been torturing? And Rhys basically is like, all humans look the same to me. Sorry.
Okay, so that's where we kind of pan out in your mind and imagine Feyre realizing, oh, there's a dead human hanging on a wall. That poor human body, like there's a person that was tortured and killed because Amarantha thought it was Feyre, and Amarantha's like, oh my god, this is so awkward. I killed the wrong person. I thought it was you. I'm so sorry. And so Amarantha basically admits, like, oh my gosh, well, since you're here, I mean, I don't want to do that to you because that was kind of boring because she kind of died really quickly.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
And also, like, now the jig is up. Like, it's not surprising anymore. Yeah. No one's going to be surprised.
Well, yeah. And Amarantha is super creepy. She's everything we thought she would be, right? Because number one, she's beautiful.
Amarantha ranks pretty high on the hot crazy graph. Yeah. The hotter you get, the crazier, the higher the amount of crazy allowance you can have. So Amarantha is Dahmer level crazy.
Oh my god, yes.
But she's hot enough to pull it off for now.
But what's really unsettling is the way she talks, and she's always smiling. She's just like, oh, that's so awkward. Well, what are we gonna do with you now?
Well, what she does with her is,
oh, well, listen, what Feyre goes, Tamlin, I love you. Doesn't she do that? She tries to say
like try to break it anyways.
And Amarantha's like, yeah, girl, you're about like, I don't know, a week too late for that. Too late.
That ship has sailed.
The ship has sailed and sank to the bottom of the ocean.
It has exploded.
Yeah, underwater. Before Feyre got there, Alice warned her. She said, listen, human girl who keeps doing the opposite of what people tell you to do. Do not get into any sort of deals with fairies because magic is very specific. And you can get caught in some sort of loophole or something that ends up effing you over. So, just play it safe and don't make any deals with Amarantha because she likes to play games.
And like literally the first thing Feyre fucking does in front of Amarantha is make a deal with her.
Yeah, very first thing she does. She's like, do you know what song is stuck in my head and I sing it all the time?
What?
Going down to the fire night. So Feyre's like, I'm gonna immediately, instantly make a deal with Amarantha. Like, hey, Amarantha, I heard the magical deals could totally backfire on me. I wanna make one with you.
I'm gonna do that shit.
Let's do it.
And so Amarantha is like, you know what? I have been saving this other little plan I have for something fun. And today's the day. Amarantha tells Feyre that if she could complete 3 tasks of her choosing, she can have Tamlin. Like, hey, girl, listen, I'll give you your man's back, but you got to do 3 little things for me first.
And Farrah's like, yeah, that sounds easy. Just 3. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
What you got? Well, you want me to braid your hair? You want me to mop? You want me
Do
to
you want me to like lick your toes? Whatever.
tread your eyebrows? Like, what's up?
And yeah, and Farrah's like, wait a minute. Like, if I do this, it means Tamlin's curse will be broken and all of his court can leave here and remain free. And Amarantha's like, yeah, of course, girl. Like, I'm gonna play you. Like, I know. So Amarantha, being the kind, benevolent leader that she is, says, you know what? I'll also give you an out. You don't have to complete these tasks. If you answer this riddle I give you, then you can leave.
Girl, if my life ever came down to a riddle, I would instantly just die.
I would die.
Do you know when this riddle came up, I was like, oh shit. Like I was started paying attention, like I was gonna solve the damn riddle. And 3 sentences in, I was like, I don't know.
I did not understand it at all.
Do you want to do we have the riddle? We don't have it, do we? I'm gonna try to go through it very quickly.
A dramatic reenactment of the riddle reading.
A dramatic reenactment. There are those who seek me a lifetime, but we never meet. There are those I kiss, but who trample me beneath their ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned, I become a difficult beast to beat. Though each of my strikes land a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow. Oh my God.
Yeah. So not only is Amarantha a crazy bitch, she's also a wordy, dramatic crazy bitch.
She's given us some Shakespeare vibes, some Edgar Allan Poe darkness, some Ernest Hemingway, kind of.
I feel like Amarantha probably wrote a lot of Twilight fan fiction. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But like Harry Potter fan fiction, Amarantha was definitely on that train.
I can see that, yeah. But she was like a Snape Hermione stan, like shipping. She was shipping Snape Hermione. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was painful.
Can you imagine how dramatic it must have been? Like Amarantha thought she was doing something there. She thought she was having a moment.
Yeah.
There's no repeats either. Amarantha doesn't repeat the riddle. I would have needed her to kind of say it 3 times, slow.
Did she, you know what's funny? I almost said, did she write it down for Feyre? But it wouldn't fucking matter if she did, because the bitch can't read.
Oh no. Oh, that's so bad. You're right.
So she gives her this riddle and she's like, if you answer it, the Spring Court can be free immediately. Everyone will be free immediately. Tamlin can leave. He can go with you. They'll stay free. I'll quit fucking with them. But if you get it wrong, I'm going to put you up here like this other girl and torture you for funsies.
So, I mean, it's kind of a sour deal there because she only gets 1 try. It's not like she gets 3. It's literally 1 chance.
They agree to this. And then Amarantha says Feyre will complete 1 task every month at the full moon. Feyre agrees. And then Amarantha has her beaten and thrown in a cell.
She gets beaten up really, really badly.
Yeah. Feyre gets completely like annihilated. Like she gets beaten extremely bad. When she wakes up at the cell, Lucian comes to help her. He yells at her for not staying in the human world, but then he helps her fix her broken nose and heal her. But he doesn't heal her all the way because he doesn't want them to know. He doesn't want them to know that he helped her.
So wait a minute. So before Tamlin was kind of captured because the time ran out on his little curse to find a human girl to love him. Before that ran out, everyone was living in their own courts. But the moment that ran out, Amarantha's like, all right, everybody come to my crib, bottom of the mountain, let's go.
Well, see, I don't think everybody was living in their own courts. I'm pretty sure there are some High Lords that were still trapped under there is some that were free to come and go, and then some of them lived under the mountain.
Right. So like Rhys was free to come and go because he was Amarantha's whore.
He was free to come and go with stipulations. He couldn't go home.
Okay. Remember Amarantha told her she had 3 little tasks, 3 itty bitty little tasks for her.
Just 3 little tiny things.
Do you know why she wanted a month? She wanted a month so that she could build a giant freaking maze for Feyre to basically get chased by a giant worm. No big deal.
So This is not just like a corn maze, you know, that just like sharp turns and stuff. This has like tunnels and trenches and spike pits. This worm is not like a giant earthworm,
Yeah.
you know? This worm is like a giant worm with huge arm-sized teeth that are razor sharp.
Cute.
It's like your worst nightmares. So the giant deformed bat.
So that's the guy that nabbed her.
Yes.
Yeah, from
the adder.
Yeah.
He picks Feyre up and goes over this maze. Like, she doesn't even have a start point. He just picks her up and just yeets her into it. The worm starts chasing her, and Amarantha's like, yay! And Tamlin is, of course, like, showing no emotion at all.
Right. Amarantha tells Feyre that she has to what? She has to kill the worm?
Yeah.
To be able to survive. So it's just giant freaking worm. And Feyre is just running through this maze. She figures out very quickly that the worm is very likely blind, because at one point it goes right past her. Doesn't even see her. She comes up with an idea of like, hey, since I'm in this muddy pit that smells like literal turd, I'm gonna grab all of this turdy mud and rub it all over my body. Because I mean,
yeah,
why not? Your boyfriend's watching.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, listen, like, I don't care where my husband, like, if my husband was watching or not. If I was getting chased by something that was finding me by smell, I would roll around in whatever I needed to.
I don't know. I would think twice about it, to be honest with you. Like, I know my survival instincts are not quite as honed as yours, or when it comes to gross stuff, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to gross stuff, I would hesitate. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would do it, but I would hesitate.
So she's trying to find she's now covered in worm shit and mud, and she's going through this maze, and she finds the worm's den, and it's filled with bones of its kills.
Yeah.
And Feyre used to make her livelihood and survive by hunting.
Yeah. So it kind of clicks for her. She's like, oh shit, hold on a second. This worm is an animal. I hunt animals. I know how to do this.
Yeah. So she uses, first of all, she goes to this worm's home, uses its own bones.
Right. The bones of its leftovers.
Yeah, the bones of its enemies, to make a trap. And then she goes back out to the maze, slices her hand open.
Oh God. See, do you know what it is? I'm a germaphobe, dude. That's why it really bothers me, the whole idea of her being covered in worm shit. And I can't. It really it really gets me. And then she cuts open her hand.
Let's go. Smell my blood, bitch.
And then she yeets herself down that maze.
Very good. Very good.
Thanks. She yeets herself down the maze as fast as she can. Just, rubbing her bloody hands everywhere she can to kind of attract the worm. And the worm is coming like full speed. And it's coming so fast. And she really doesn't have anywhere else to go but to jump into the trap that she set for it. Because so what she did was she took all the bones and she stuck them into the mud to form spikes. Girl, so that stupid ass worm comes flying down like blood.
Yes. It impales itself. And first of all hail Feyre Archeron.
Yeah.
Because what does she do after the worm is dead?
What did she do? I can't remember.
She throws one of the bones she sharpened at Amarantha.
Oh shit.
Boom. Task number 1 is my bitch.
Against all odds, she beats this task, man. She kills the worm.
And of course, people made bets on this, and everyone voted that Feyre would lose.
Yeah.
Except for one person.
It wasn't Tamlin, because apparently Tamlin didn't participate in the betting.
And Tamlin is too good for that shit. And then Feyre realizes that she's injured. There's a piece of bone like embedded in her arm.
But she was so high on adrenaline, she didn't notice she was injured until she was back in her cell, basically.
Bitch should even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Feyre is in her cell again. And no one has come to heal her. The wound is still bleeding, and she's just getting worse every day. Like, she knows she's dying.
So Feyre has this disgusting injury, and okay, first of all, remember she covered herself in warm excrement all over her body. I mean,
and dirt.
She's covered in filth, and she was not allowed to. Amarantha was not like, okay, girl, go take a shower, go deep condition your hair, get it, No, she went straight to her cell in that disgusting form with a bone sticking out of her arm for days. So she had a fever, she had an infection, she was dying. And this whole time she's waiting for Lucien to come back in. Because remember, Lucien came in her first night a month ago, right? He came in to heal her, but he's not coming in now. She's waiting and waiting. He's nowhere to be seen. When someone finally comes into her cell, it is not Lucien.
No. It is Rhys. Beautiful stranger. He comes in and he's like, hey girl, you made me a lot of money. And she realizes the one person who bet on her was him.
He was the one that bet that Feyre was going to win when everybody else bet against her. So I don't know. I kind of like that. Okay, just
right?
I kind of like it.
So he says that he'll heal her arm in exchange for her. And he's like, I want 2 weeks every month, and you'll come and live with me in my court. She's just like,
it's cool. I'll die. He's like, first of all, ouch.
First of all, ouch. Second of all, what? Third of all, fair enough.
But she's dying and she's hurting. She's in a lot of pain. And she realized, like, you know what? As the seconds ticked past, and he was mind fucking her, because he told her, hey, no one's coming to save you. You are dying.
She's like, fine, 1 week. And he's like, okay, thank you.
She negotiates. She made the deal. It was a little anticlimactic.
Sarah falls unconscious, and then she wakes up and she has this tattoo that covers her left hand and like half her arm. And she's like, the fuck? And Rhys is like, oh, I forgot to tell you, it's customary in my court that deals be permanently inked on our bodies, so we're like tattoo besties now.
She's in between tasks. You know how Amarantha gave her 3 tasks? These tasks happen once a month, right, at the full moon. And the time in between, she's basically being tortured by the evil fairies of the night court that are just like, hey, it'd be funny, hey, it'd be a fun joke if we get the human and we tell her that we're going to skin her alive if she doesn't mop these floors, and we'll give her dirty water.
And they're like, ah. And then the next day, Feyre's taken to a room and told to get all these lentils.
They were like, it would be hilarious if she has to use her little human fingers to pick up lentils from the fireplace. Oh my God. They're just torturing her. They're just enjoying. They're just like,
just for fun.
We're going to torture her.
They're hazing her like a sorority.
Yeah, they're hazing her, but there is no outcome at the end. Like, she doesn't get like a Sigma night court jacket or anything. She literally just, there's nothing at the end of that.
While she's doing this, Rhys walks in and he's like, what are you doing in my room? And she's like, first of all, she's like, well, fuck, I didn't know that was your room. And then the second of all, she's like, here's what they told me to do. He orders the guards to stop giving Feyre these random tasks. And because he's currently warming Amarantha's bed, he has a little bit of clout.
Well, he's also the High Lord of the Night Court. So I would think that carries some clout too.
It probably does carry some clout too.
He was just like, hey, leave her alone. Stop messing with her.
So he's like, stop messing with her. Stay out of her cell. And, Rhys talks to her and tells her that all the High Lords can shapeshift and that he prefers wings and talons. First of all, Tamlin prefers like bulk and talons. And Rhys is like, I can fucking fly, bruh.
Yeah, here's what I'm getting from this, that the High Lords can all shapeshift into whatever form they want. And Tamlin is like, you know what I want to be? I want to be a bear with elk horns, a feline body.
You could be anything, and you chose
You can literally be anything. And Rhys is like, you know what I like to be? Because I'm the most beautiful man you've ever seen. I like to be a bird, but not just any bird, not like a pigeon.
Like I'm like a swan, like a black swan in the sky.
Oh,
what's a manly bird?
One that goes to the gym.
Like a pterodactyl. He's like a pterodactyl, but like a sexy pterodactyl.
So it's been almost a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has the tattoo on her arm, but she's still covered in the crap from the warm thing.
Mostly, yeah.
I would imagine that all that warm mud would probably flake off after a month. God, oh
How
my
did she
God.
not get like a yeast infection?
Well, I think when he healed her, it included everything. You know what I mean? He gave her like a summer's eve douche with his magic and just
He
cleaned her.
douched her entire immune system.
He douched her whole body and fixed her arm, and everything was right again with the world. So, oh, wait a minute. I want to drive home a point here. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
want to drive home a point that Feyre traveled all the way from her comfy life, her
Mm-hmm.
newly comfy life, where her family was rich and it had everything that they could ever want. She was doing so good over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she decided to come help Tamlin at the base of a mountain with a literal psychopath, Amarantha, who is putting her through torturous tasks. And in the meanwhile, while she's waiting for these tasks, she's getting tortured by Amarantha's little goons. Tamlin, MIA. We have not seen him. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know what he's thinking.
Nope.
Tamlin is useless. Okay.
And lazy.
And lazy. He's just like, you know what? I don't want to put out the effort if she's just gonna die, and there's just a high percentage that she's gonna die, so I'm just not gonna put the effort in.
No, I completely agree. Tamlin is just not, he ain't into it right now, you know?
But I think I would have come into Farrah's cell if she was the love of my life and would have tried to heal her.
I feel like pre-Lexapro, I probably would have done too much. Like I would have already been like murdered by Amarantha for trying to help Feyre. Post Lexapro, I am just kind of like, oh no, that's really sad, girl. Lots of
I'm
prayers.
thinking of you. I'm gonna write you a card when I wake up from my nap.
So Feyre, who's been like dirty and hungry to this point, these two female fae just like show up in her cell and they bathe her and they get her all cleaned up and nice and shiny.
Wait, what colors did they paint?
I think it was gold.
Gold. So they paint her whole body gold. I mean, that's extra.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going on, but very quickly she figures out that this was all commissioned by the Lord of the Night Court himself, Rhysand.
And then they put her in this like skimpy dress, and like honestly, I'm thinking
Kind of Roman vibes, right? Like it
yes,
just comes down and it covers her boobs and then her crotch, and that's it. And it's like deep slits down the side. Honey, where'd you get that dress? I got a Marine Corps ball coming up.
yes.
Some Rex.
So she's wearing this. Rhys is like, yeah, you're coming to a party with me, and I had you painted, so I'll know if anyone else touches her. And it's like,
like I don't like it, but I kind of like it a little bit. But I don't like it. He's bad. But I like it.
Okay, so part of me is like, bruh, she doesn't fucking belong to you.
Right.
And then the other part of me is kind of like, throw me against the wall and bite me. I'm confused.
You know what? It's a spectrum, Courtney.
It's a spectrum.
We need like feminism is a spectrum. Okay, we're all on our own journey, and right now you're kind of you're a simp. You're a little bit of a simp. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not mad about it.
We should save simp for our next episode.
Simp will be our simp, and simping will be our
next vocabulary word.
Yes.
So you guys can listen, stick with us, man. We'll keep you hip. We'll keep you cool. We're on the TikTok. We got off the Facebook so we could get on the TikTok with the young kids, with the youngins.
Mm-hmm. Feyre is all painted up, dressed in this skimpy ass queen of a fucking outfit. And Amarantha is like, what the fuck is that on your hand? Is that a tattoo?
She has to face Tamlin, who's still sitting up there next to Amarantha. I mean, he is looking more beta than he ever has. I had some suspicions in the last episode, but I mean...
Yeah. Rhys is like, he tells Amarantha, like, listen, I made a bargain, and now Feyre's going to spend spend a week of every month with me. And then he hands Feyre a glass of fairy wine. Remember, Alice is like, don't drink fairy wine, and Feyre's like, whatever, I'm dying anyways.
Listen, fairy wine hits Feyre the way that rosé hits me. I mean, rosé, it's like one glass, I'm feeling nice. 2 glasses, I am like twerking for Rhysand. Okay, there's no stopping me. And that's really what happens. Well, what happens? She blacks out. She doesn't know what happens.
Yeah.
Who tells her? I can't remember. Somebody tells her that she was dancing on Rhysand and everything.
Lucian comes in to kind of check on her, and Lucian is like,
what were you doing, Feyre? You were all like dancing on Rhysand. She was like, what? I was? Oh my God, I was drunk. I didn't know anything that was going on. Okay, I'm going to do this again every single night for the next month. Okay, but you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me because I don't know what I'm doing because I'm drunk. Okay. And what was Tamlin doing?
Tamlin just sits there and watches like the love of his life being touched in basically giving a lap dance to Rhys. Then he doesn't just do it once or twice. He does it for every single night until the next fucking trial.
So this is a month, basically. This is a month of Feyre being painted gold every night and being strutted out and getting drunk on fairy wine. And so, you know, once she realizes that the fairy wine makes her black out, she almost wants it because she just wants to.
Yes.
She almost wants to black out until the next trial. So, I mean, she low-key becomes an alcoholic, not to make light of that, but like she low-key becomes an alcoholic.
And so Rhys is like, Rhys finally comes in and is like, hey girl, what up? Your second trial is tomorrow. She is going in to task number 2.
Yeah.
And she is lowered into this pit and she sees Lucian and he's like chained to the floor.
Oh my God.
And he's separated from her. And Amarantha's like, you have to answer these questions by pulling these levers. There are 3 of them, and each of them are linked to an answer. You have a time limit. If you don't answer these in the correct amount of time, poor Lucian is going to get skewered.
Yeah, if you answer the questions wrong, Lucian, your friend, you know, the one that healed you and, you know, kind of looks after you a lot while Tamlin does nothing. Yeah, so that friend, he's gonna get skewered, but it's chill.
He's going to get blown apart like a NASCAR tire on a spike strip. Like just
what a visual. Let's not do that again. That's gonna give me nightmares.
Have you ever bit into a cherry tomato and it squirts out?
Oh my God, Courtney, you are dark.
That is going to be Lucian. No biggie. By the way, I wrote down all the questions for you this time.
The first task she did great, right? Because it was basically trapping and killing an animal. The second task, you just need one tiny little skill. Just one little. She needs to know how to read. Does Feyre know how to read?
No.
No, she doesn't. Girl, she does not know how to read. So we're kind of in we're in a pickle right now.
Yeah, and so Feyre is just like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna guess here.
She goes for C, right? Because the answer, if you're gonna guess, it's almost always C.
Yeah, so she goes for C, but then her hand starts hurting, the one with the tattoo on it. Yeah. And she's like, what? And so she tries to pull on the lever again, and then her hand keeps hurting, and she's like, oh, Rhys is helping me. Yeah. Maybe. She's not really sure. She's like, is Rhys helping me or is he not?
So basically, Rhys is somehow, through his magic of the tattoo on Feyre's arm, he's helping her figure out how to pull the right lever to answer the questions, because she can't read the questions, but using the cues that he's giving her through pain in her arm of what hurts and what doesn't, she's able to choose the right one.
So like she gets them all right. She saves Lucian.
Thanks to Rhys. I mean,
thank you, Rhys-Anne, for helping us save Lucian.
Oh, that twerking girl, she was working. We thought she was twerking for nothing, but she was working.
Amarantha is like, you survive again.
Yeah.
And so she goes back to her cell, and then Feyre just has a huge fucking mental breakdown.
Well, because she's so embarrassed. She's like, oh my God, I don't know how to read. And me not knowing how to read almost cost me my life. That's scary. That happened to me once. I didn't know how to parallel park, and I felt like there was a bunch of cars behind me and they were honking and they were very angry and somebody could have killed me. I was really scared, and I feel like not knowing how to parallel park almost cost me my life, and I cried. Yeah, it was sad. Anyway,
I would never drive again. Rhys-Anne comes to her cell and she's like sobbing, and then he licks the tears from her face.
Girl, no, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Does he kiss them away or licks them?
There's tongue. He licks them.
Oh, God. Why you gotta be creepy, Rhys-Anne?
Rhys-Anne is essentially, with the tattoo that he has, he can feel when Feyre is really close to breaking. You know, a few days later, Feyre is again close to breaking. You know, she's just like, I don't think we would blame her at all right now for just like giving up completely. But she has a tiny little bit and she's hanging on, you know, our girl is hanging on. She hears music. It's like beautiful, like symphony.
She's in her cell and she hears it kind of coming through a vent or something.
Yeah, like she hears it and like that keeps her alive that day, you know, because she's like, I'm ready to die. And then that music comes in like, bitch, no, you're not.
Yeah. Hang on for one more day. What was that song?
It's never gonna give it up.
We're awful singers.
No,
Terrible.
hold on. I know the song. All right, hold on. I know the song.
Someday somebody's gonna
make you say goodbye.
Skit. Okay. Listen, Pharaoh's it's been a long 2 months, okay?
Feyre is not having a good time.
She's forced to show up at this party, as always, where everybody is in attendance. But this time, Rhys is kind of ignoring her and just kind of giving attention to other people.
Tamlin just pops up out of fucking nowhere. And
where you been, bro? I've been dying. I've been selling my soul to your nemesis, but no big deal. Hey, what's up?
It's fine. And then, you know what happens? They just go into a room and start undressing each other and kissing and making out and like dry humping.
You know what? We are here. We're being held hostage. No one's paying attention to us. Let's go dry hump another room. No, honey. Yeah. How about we try to escape?
Yeah, no, none of that shit happens. Rhys comes in and is like, Tamlin, fix your clothes and get the fuck out. And Tamlin's like, peace, dude. Bye.
I think this is like, we see like a really different side of Rhys because it's almost he drops an act, right? Like
his mask slips for a second.
Yeah, it's almost like this whole time he's been playing a role of Amarantha's right-hand man. And suddenly he's like, what are you guys doing? Are you crazy? If Amarantha sees you together, she's going to be so upset that she's going to instantly kill Feyre. Like you're being an idiot right now. And he's kind of helping them essentially and being like, Tamlin, you need to get out of here before Amarantha sees you.
So he's so fucking mad. And then he hears something coming and then Rhys pushes Feyre against the wall and like makes out with her.
I guess he wants to throw the scent off of Tamlin. Right?
Yeah, her paint's smeared. And so he has to give a reason why the paint is smeared. Amarantha opens the door, finds them kissing, and Tamlin's with her.
Yeah.
And then after that's kind of over, he sends Feyre back to her room. And so like later that night, she's like sleeping. And then who shows up? Rhys. And he said that he just needs a minute away from Amarantha because he admits that he is made to serve in her bedroom. And he just needed a minute of solace. And he goes to Feyre for that.
Oh, poor Rhys. Oh.
We're starting to see a little wisp of good in Rhys.
I mean, I wouldn't say good, but I would say not horrible.
Decency.
Yeah. Nah, I don't even know if it's decency, but he's just...
I think our standards may differ here because I'm seeing Rhys does one good thing and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God, he loves us. Yay. So it's been about a month since the last trial. The full moon's coming up. You know what happens on full moon days?
Amarantha gets to play with her little toy.
Amarantha gets to play with her Feyre doll. So as always, Feyre goes to the throne room and Amarantha's there with Tamlin by her side, her little fuckboy. Amarantha asks Feyre, like, hey girl, you're gonna die today. You got any last words? And Feyre just tells Tamlin that she loves him. I feel like at this point in the relationship, she should be asking some questions. She's not.
I know. She should just be like, I love you, but also,
what the fuck?
Are you going to do anything? Are you going to help me? Are you going to stand up? Do you have a cramp? Where have you been? I've been being painted gold. I've been twerking on this other guy. I've been doing everything I can to make you jealous and you seem to not care. So like, where are we? Like I feel like she wants.
What are we?
Yeah, she wants to have that conversation in front of all the courts.
Yes.
Of Prithian. Like, hey, what are we? Like, I thought we had a relationship, but I just kind of feel like it was just a hookup to you. Like, I feel like in front of your friends, you act like I don't exist. And I'm just really confused right now. Can we like talk about this?
Do you see this going anywhere? Like, are we serious? Are we exclusive?
Was this a spring fling?
Trial number 3, the finale. So
trial number 3.
3 figures are brought in, 2 male and 1 female, and they have bags over their head. They just got like
man napped.
Fey napped off of a street corner.
Yes.
And they're forced to their knees, and then 3 servants come over. Each of them has a pillow, and it has an ash dagger. And what does ash dagger do?
Ash daggers kill whole ass fairies.
Whole ass fairies.
Yeah, just kills them.
And Feyre is told that she has to stab each Fey in the heart, and if she does that, she'll win.
This is so sad. So the very first person, they take the hood off, and it's this little young man fairy, and he's kind of like, he's begging her, like, don't kill me. And she's like, bro, I'm so sorry. It's not personal.
I have to. It's for my dude.
I've got to do it. It's for science. It's for Prithia, and I've got to do it.
For spring.
It's for spring. She kills him. She stabs him. Kills him.
She does. The next person, the woman, her hood's taken off, and the woman doesn't beg for her life or anything. She just prays.
And Feyre kills her too, man.
Feyre kills her too.
This is kind of dark. She's like straight up murdering people in cold blood. I guess it's too late for the warning, but warning, it gets dark. It's a little dark. If the tortured young girl hanging on the wall this entire time was an indication that shit was about to get dark, shit got dark. Then the third figure comes up, takes off the hood, and it's
Tamlin.
Oh no, it's Tamlin.
And Feyre is just like, oh my god.
She's like, no. She's like, wait, double checking. Amarantha, what was I supposed to do again? And Amarantha's like, you're supposed to kill all of them.
And Feyre's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, no, like Tamlin was sitting next to you. And then she looks back up, and it's the adder, it's the deformed bat sitting next to Amarantha, not Tamlin.
Feyre's smart, right? So she starts thinking, she's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Amarantha wants Tamlin.
Why would she let me kill him?
Why would she require me to kill him to pass my task? So she's either bluffing or she really doesn't care about Tamlin. And she's like, I know she cares about Tamlin.
She did this whole 50-year curse just so she can get Tamlin. Why would she let me kill him now?
And then she starts getting flashbacks, and she remembers. She starts remembering a couple conversations that she may have eavesdropped on.
So there was a time, remember, when Lucian is yelling at Tamlin, and he said, for somebody with a heart of stone, you sure are going soft these days. And then Alice had even mentioned about something that there is other parts of the curse that would help Feyre later. And so Feyre, just kind of in a Hail Mary, she's like, you know what? This is it.
Right. So she realized, like, wait a minute, what if Tamlin can't be killed? Like, well, what if he has a heart of stone? And if he does have a heart of stone, because maybe that was part of the curse, that if I stab him in the heart, it won't work. He won't die. So, I mean, listen to me. This girl has been through a lot. She's willing to bet, right? She's like, you know what? I might be wrong, but I'm willing to be wrong because Tamlin hasn't really done much for me lately. What have you done for me lately?
If we die, we die, you know?
If we die, we die. So she goes ahead and stabs him right in the heart. The knife went clink. And Tamlin's like, you bitch, I'm still alive.
I'm alive, but I'm dead.
I'm alive, but I'm dead.
Feyre completed these tasks. She completed all 3 tasks. Tamlin doesn't die because he literally had a heart made out of a fucking rock.
He had a heart of stone.
There's like, hell yeah, I get to go home with my mans now.
Yeah. Oh, she's like, girl. She's like, yeah, I did it. I killed all those people. I passed all the tasks. I'm ready to go. Tamlin, grab your shit. Go pack your bags. We're going home.
And then Amarantha's like, bitch, you thought.
Nope. Oh, you thought you were, oh, that's cute. Hey, remember when I said I would let them go? I will when I feel like it.
I didn't say immediately. They only get released immediately if you answer my fucking riddle.
I said, if you answer the riddle, I'll let them go immediately. But I didn't say I would let them go immediately if you pass the trial. Sorry, you misunderstood. Oh, Feyre, guess you should have listened to Alice when she told you not to make deals with Amarantha. I mean, girl.
Yes. Amarantha's like, not only am I not going to let them go right now, I'm going to kill you. She tells Feyre to admit, she's attacking Feyre. And she's like, admit you don't actually love Tamlin. I'm envisioning 2 like high school girls and like one's like grabbing her hair like, bitch, admit you lied.
I know, fighting for a boy. First of all, pathetic.
Don't do that shit. Don't be that girl.
Don't do it.
And what is Tamlin doing right now?
Oh, he's standing there doing literally nothing. Amarantha is beating the crap out of Feyre. I think she's really angry because, she was sitting there this whole time. What, 2 months? 2 months, 3 months. She was sitting there smiling, watching Feyre prance around in gold paint, twerking on Rhys, who was Amarantha's boy toy. Hey, you know what I got? I got jealousy vibes from Amarantha. I think she was very, very, very jealous that not only did Tamlin want Feyre, but also Rhys wanted Feyre. And I think Amarantha was pissed.
Right.
The first moment Amarantha had where she could beat Feyre's ass, she was like, we're doing this. I'm beating her.
It is on like Donkey Kong.
So as Amarantha is beating the living crap out of Feyre, I mean, literally beating her to death.
Yes.
And I guess because Feyre feels like she's connected to Rhysand because it's a tattoo, there's some sort of magic in the tattoo that connects both of them. And she sees through Rhysand's eyes and sees him trying to attack Amarantha. And Amarantha's like, nope, and kind of like flames him away like a fly. Girl, where's Tamlin? IDK, Tamlin, IDK.
He is checking his Etsy shop to see if he can get any sales. Tamlin.
I can't with him. Okay, so as Feyre is within an inch of dying, it finally hits her that the answer to the riddle, the thing that people seek for a lifetime and might never meet, or trample under ungrateful feet, or is soft-handed and sweet, but scorned becomes difficult beast to the feet and lands a powerful blow, but kills you slow. All of that, it applies to one thing that she just recently has experienced. And that thing,
love,
is love, girl.
And then with her last breath, she's like, the answer is love. And then Amarantha snaps her neck. But she did fulfill the terms of the contract of the riddle at that point. The curse is broken. But because Feyre is bound to Rhys through their bargain, she still has a tiny, itty bitty little thread of life that is tied to Rhysand that hasn't died yet.
She can see what's happening through Rhys's eyes.
Yeah.
Because of their connection of the tattoo.
Tamlin and the others now have all their powers back. So then Tamlin, finally doing fucking something other than just sitting there being a useless piece of shit, jumps in and he really quickly kills Amarantha by stabbing her through the head with a sword and then ripping her throat out.
Listen, cute, but I'm not impressed. Okay, I'm just not impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed with like the actions, not with really the sentiment, because you've been a lazy layabout this whole fucking time, and like this doesn't make up for it. Okay, this does not make up for it.
I feel like Tamlin waited until there was 100% guarantee that he couldn't fail, and that was the only time he acted. Whereas Rhysand risked his life to try to protect Feyre, and Rhysand's known her for 5 minutes.
Right. After Tamlin kills Amarantha, he just goes over to Feyre's body and just like sobs and sobs and
she could see it from Rhysand's eyes, so she can see her broken body, Tamlin holding her broken body, Tamlin crying. And then one by one, the High Lords come and they kind of gather around her, and these little wisps come out of them, these magical kind of little beams. And she sees them through Rhysand's eyes. She sees these beams come out of the High Lords and go into her dead body. So she's like, oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Something's happening.
Then it's just black. Just nothing.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up. She feels something in the bond between her and Rhys. And she follows, like, she feels like he's summoning her. So she follows the pull.
Okay, first of all, when Feyre opens her eyes, she is not human anymore.
She is not.
She is not a human girl. She is
a fairy.
She's a fairy. Her senses are heightened. She's got the whole 9 yards. She's probably really pretty. Her ears probably got pointy. She's probably got some really nice eyeshadow going on. I'm imagining like bronze, nice.
Some of that like permanent eyeliner, microbladed brows.
Oh yes.
She's talking to Rhys, and he's like, I didn't want you to fight or die alone. And
It's so sweet.
it is so fucking sweet. And she's telling him about how bad she feels about killing those two fairies. He tells Feyre, be glad of your human heart, pity those who feel nothing at all.
How sweet. He just sprinkled a little Fitzgerald before dipping out the window. That was cute. He doesn't say sorry, but you can kind of feel that he's sorry for what happened. And obviously he helped her and all that stuff. So she wouldn't have gotten out of there without him. And Tamlin would not be free without Rhys. But of course, nobody thanks Rhys. And but Feyre, even though Rhys leaves, Feyre realizes that this isn't the last time she's going to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she promised him 1 week a month, and now she's an immortal being. So that's a week a month for the rest of time.
The rest of her fucking life.
Which is forever. So that's insane.
My takeaways from this are that Tamlin is a lazy do-nothing, and I lost so much respect for him. I'm really intrigued by Rhys and what that 1 week a month is going to kind of entail for them.
Feyre goes off to live in the Spring Court as a fae with her man Tamlin.
Yep.
Her lazy ass, man. Listen, she could do better, but no one's going to tell her that. It's okay. It's her choice. It's her choice.
I mean, I wish she had a girlfriend that would be like, listen.
I know.
You do you. If you're really happy with him, then that's fine. Like, I'll find a way to deal.
All right, guys. So it looks like the teapot is empty for today.
More tea is brewing and on the way. We'll be back next week with The Kissing Booth, a movie on Netflix based on a novel by Beth Reekles.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for listening. And please feel free to check out our show notes for information about the books and the authors that we're discussing.
If you like our podcast, please leave a review and share with a friend.
Yes, guys, this is a new podcast. So reviews and shares really, really help. So we would love it so much if you enjoyed this to send it to a fellow bookworm and just be like, hey, Tamlin is trash. Am I right?
Any love you want to throw our way, we are greatly appreciative of.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Be glad of your human heart, Feyre. Pity those who feel nothing at all.
And stop stabbing people. To save your trash boyfriend that's not doing anything. Okay, bye.
And die. Okay, bye.
She's on some Blair Waldorf. How do you say it?
Blair Waldorf?
Yeah, she's on some Blair World.
Just say Gossip Girl.
No, because it's Blair Waldorf. She's on some Blair Wald. Oh my god, I have a.
This is just gonna be our cold open. It's just you trying to say Blair Waldorf 42 times.
Blair World. Oh my god, dude, I literally.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wall.
Dwarf.
She's
on some Blair Waldorf shit.